Hey man, all I'm saying is, nigga, you always got something to say. It's like you don't shut up. On the track.
A lot of niggas died 1865. Single Michael fled highway, don't let it ride. Everybody hot and black was never on your side. They do maps to tell your apps where you sleep at night. They put that white man on. Got you begging them for answers like that white man know. Had you swearing you was African, that's that white man home. Had you proud to be a savage, that's that white man's zone. And I ain't talking shit, this my definition. If being savage was our nation, y'all be non-existent. We done took your ass out when we was in them kitchens. Instead of showing you how to live and how to maintain business. White supremacy fake. Only way that shit real is if you do what they say. We the gods of the gate. So when they say they fear God, now you know what they made. Shoot song, move song, shoot song, move song.
Put us in the same room, he gon' go down. Hit a nigga with that boom, he gon' go down.
Shoot song, move song.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys can hear some. Hey, if you guys can hear this, can I get some goats, please? I don't know if I can hear that. Yeah, that was out of there. Hey, we'll say peace and paradise to all American Aborigines. Supreme Chief Holidays in the building. I want to say shout out to everybody tapped in already, man.
More films, gripping dramas, and more. Watch on the YouTube app. You can even stream select.
Testing. Mic check. 1 2 1 2. Mic check. 1 2 1 2. All right. So, peace, everybody, man. We're having a little technical difficulty. We're gonna get it together, man. We'll bring some music back in a minute. Just want to say shout out to everybody, man. Tapped in. Go ahead and get that out of the way. Put y'all in here real fast. I seen Empress Awakening was in the building first. Peace to the goddess. See Miss Gretchen Helms in the building. Peace, Empress. Hold on, y'all. Let's get a little music going right now. We'll be right back. Let's go. A-State Band Runners. Gang. A-State. State Village, Arkansas. Stand up. Let's go.
Back, nigga. Nah, I ain't never win no though. Bear on the shit. Fuck it. Y'all nigga know what it do. Still a big dog. You. Still a make a nigga big chew. Yeah, still it do. Everything, still everything. Ain't shit changed but the change. And you know the squad the same. Bear on the shit. Gang. When a nigga talk about lit. Duck goose we eat. Nah, I ain't thinking about shit. Big face coming to you, that's it. How that thing smoking in the city? Fuck nigga hate to admit it. If about money, we win it. Nigga talk about money, we get it. Tripping in, where did I go? Did I get it from the mall? No. I ain't mind shit out the store. Told you everything coming to the door. Stepping out the grill, looking like a chick. Stepping out the grill, now I'm finna flex. Up now, nigga, fuck being next. Tell you why I got the fuck nigga that. Fresh, bring that. Stretch, who say don't get money no more? Tell them don't get money no less. Like I said, boy, still that nigga. You still can't do shit with him. Y'all think Mr. LV hard? Hey, wait till you meet Godzilla. I know, you know why hey. Four quarter, plus shit, big man. Big truck, you'll pick up, let's step in. Like, let's be, order, mafia. Gang, 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 gang. Till the big truck, you'll pick up, let's step in your lane. Let's be, order, mafia. Gang, 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 gang. Fuck a pick up, I'm a big truck. These niggas better stay in they lane. Catch me with the same game. Ain't shit niggas untamed. Still with the shit ain't changed. Fuck around here, click then bang. Scratch a nigga off the press. I'm the rap Muhammad on the best. You still got a few sleeping on me. Shit, I'm about to get it in the chest. My respect, I'ma die about that. Off the hip with the vibe out there. These niggas ain't saying no more. These niggas don't ride like that. Gang shit ain't no stopping us. ABI, we the mafia. Disrespect, they gon' order coppers up. Shit, they gon' have to come chalk them up for the bill with the shit, no cap. Y'all niggas in the way with this rap. Couldn't ride this wave on the rap. Take the nigga heads off the cap. You know, I know, they know about me. I don't go like no hoe. They say rap was real. Stay on go in beast mode. I've been off in that field. AB, all the mafia for real. I know, you know why hey. Four quarter, plus shit, big man. Just a big truck, you'll pick up, let's step in. Like, let's be, order, mafia. Gang, 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 gang. Just a big truck, you'll pick up, let's step in. Like, let's be, order, mafia. Gang, big racks in my pocket, band runners. Shit, that's how the gang do. R. Kelly plus Usher, fuck your bitch, now we got the same boo. I was down on my ass, that came up, now I'm making brand new. Did this, did that, now tell me something that a young nigga can't do. Fuck you wanna walk in with a bag, like in the birthday of glass. Big choppers got a whole lot of mag, yeah, like I'm be lad. Big drill got the fuck nigga mad, yeah, I'm get to a sad. Hit my side bit with the like a money bag. No brakes, all gas. I'ma do it like the dad. Give it to me like a starter mark. Throw it back like she Nash. Bankroll spinning all the fuck it, I'ma get it bad. Bankroll spinning all the fuck it, I'ma get it bad. Barrel on the barrel. Yeah, you know when it's me, nigga. You and them niggas that be with you. Throw some shots and pull up on my vehicle. Don't think I won't do it on feet, nigga. Hit you up like you 3 in the key, nigga. Ain't no game when you talking about we, nigga. Barrel on the game with deep, nigga. I know. You know.
Hey, peace and paradise to all American Aborigines. Supreme Chief Holidays in the building. It's your Sahab, and I come in peace. Yo, this is waiting on Brother Sanchez and Big Aboriginal Power to enter the building. If anybody's seen them, we need to send out an APB. Let them know that we're having a face-off on Supreme Chief Holiday channel. Tap in. Everybody, share this on all your social media, man. Let them know it's going down. You got to see what we're talking about. What is there to debate? You know what I say? There's no debate. I don't debate. I teach. You know what I mean? That's basically my concept. From this situation, I don't debate theories. You know what I mean? So. Not to be a spoiler alert and stuff like that, but and once again, law is a law, a fact is a fact, right? And you can't create any pseudo ass feelings that you have to attach it to it. So I just want to put that out there, whatever, for everybody that's looking into this right here. Like I said, feel free to share this on all your social medias if you're a YouTuber. A YouTubian, share my shit, share appreciate everybody that do share. You know, we are definitely our own media and things that we're trying to do. So a lot of times, you know, once again, um, so-called media, you know, Trump called them fake media. You know what I mean? So, you know, we're gonna get into some stuff tonight, y'all. Before, you know, while these guys on here, you know, we always got some stuff to give to the brothers and sisters, some things that you know, in our continuous series, you know, got a little some little treat. So, what I want to do. I want to say shout out to everybody, man, tapped in, man. We definitely appreciate all you guys tapped in. While we're waiting on our contestants to come in here, um, yeah, I think we should go ahead and put this video on just as a little teaser for the next installment of Baby Boule, right? We got the Hip Hop Illuminati edition coming Tuesday, y'all. So it's gonna be crazy. Maybe we can get some. Y'all know anybody that's in the fraternity, sorority, or whatever, or any of these fraternal orders, whatever? Tell them to holler at me, chiefholiday@gmail.com. Tell them this is not an attack on anybody. We just want to get some answers. So without further ado, man, let's get into this, man. Let's go. Press go, please. That's why I'm the GOAT.
My name is Akinola Olabidi. I was a spring 17 of this year. I was Kappa Masai. I was a solo.
My name is Julian Smartrimble. I came into Alpha at Kennesaw State University in Kennesaw, Georgia in spring 2009.
Anthony Wells, spring 1983.
I was only a year old.
Virginia Union University. I made a sequel.
Shaheed Johnson. I played on Mega Top 5 in 2017 in spring, and I went to Prairie View University.
Joe Farrell, played Spring 92 on Mega South 5, and I'm Alpha grad chapter in Virginia.
Okay, so I'm going to start with the first question. We go in the same order. Why did you choose to join?
I first got interested in Kappa through an uncle who was also a Kappa. Before I even started college, he was telling me like, yeah, you know, we get girls, we about achievement. And when I came on the campus, I saw the band there, and they had shooting ties, and I felt like, okay, I can see myself being part of them because it was like they're similar to me. Because I got to know them. When I saw other organizations, I was like, I didn't really like relate to them and stuff. So that's how I got interested. At first, I thought it was like Kappa 6, it was like a white frat. But I was like, join that one, but it's actually Kappa outside.
First and foremost, before we dive into this part of the panel, I've never seen this amount of brothers that have been up here speaking out about coming out from an occult organization. So can y'all give us a round of applause?
Yes!
I actually got involved in being interested in Greek life from just growing up in Atlanta. The AUC, for those who have been in Atlanta, is very infamous. Morris Brown, when they were still active, Clark Atlanta, Spell House, is Greekdom all out in Atlanta. None of my family is Greek. My family is from Trinidad and Tobago, so we're from the Caribbean. I only had one uncle, he had pledged Q, but he was an extended member of the family. But literally just seeing the step shows, seeing the Greek plots at the AUC, seeing the just Freaknik, just to be real, back in the 90s. Be real. In Atlanta. It was ran by a lot of Greeks. They do the massive parties out in Atlanta. Like that was what Atlanta was known for during those times. Greek life, Freaknik, and then also hip hop. So that's how I got involved.
Why did I join? My answers may seem a little robotic, but they will be because I knew we were going to be pressed for time, so I took the opportunity to write them all out. Why did I join? Number one, I like the colors. The high school colors are blue and white. I wanted to step, and that's why I pledged as a graduating senior. And three, I had a maternal great uncle, my grandfather's brother, who was a member of the fraternity. He was a pioneer black educator. He earned a master's degree from Cornell University in 1931. Wow. He started school late at the age of 23. He was in a class with third and fourth graders. He received his undergraduate degree from South Carolina State University in Orangeburg, South Carolina. He went on to become the dean at North Carolina A&T State University in Greensboro, and two of his most famous students were Jesse Jackson and Alexander.
Wow.
When I got introduced to the fraternity, I did not know anything about Greek life when I got to school, but I started cutting hair when I got to school.
Hey, can we stop it right here for a second?
And the Omegas, they treated me most like family.
Stop it right here for one second.
Like the little yard shows they had at the barbecues. If anybody, that kids sit around accused, they cook really good.
Okay, we got Brother Sanchez is in the building. What's up, brother? How you feeling?
Mic check 1 2 1 2. How y'all doing? Can you hear me?
Sounds good. All is well.
That's what's up. Thank you for having me, man. Salutes to y'all.
So, Bro Sanchez, before Aboriginal power get in the building,
Let me ask you something real quick.
Go ahead, brother. You got the floor.
Do you mind if I double stream what you hear on my end as well, or?
I absolutely not. Go ahead, brother.
Okay, for sure. No, you good to go. I'm just it's gonna send some people to you to subscribe as well.
It's all good, man. Definitely appreciate that. Appreciate you opening up your platform as well to the truth, man. Because once again, it's all about getting the truth out to the people. And so a lot of this, a lot of times people don't know that a lot of this is a part of entertainment as well. So we're going to talk about that a little bit tonight too when Big Ab get in the building. But just about what's our responsibility. But I wanted to get your opinion as you talk about this. Is really in your wheelhouse. You know what I'm saying? When we talk about the occult and some of the things that we're talking about, baby boulets and people that don't know that maybe when you go into high school, for instance, like these men right here, from young men to middle-aged men to a little older gentlemen, we're talking about they're coming out of these occults and these things, but they didn't know that when they were pledging. They were just trying to get girls and stuff. Can you speak on that a little bit?
Yeah, as far as guys joining these different societies early in their life, naive and all of that stuff there.
Yes, sir.
Am I hearing you right? Yeah, I'm just clarifying the question. Yeah, for sure. I do think that a lot of these guys that's joining, whether it be Freemason, Alpha, Kappa, whatever, sorority, Eastern Star, I do think they are looking for a network of cool brothers just to be kind of benefit from being with the fucking, excuse my language, being with the popular group, if you will. They even had frats at my high school. So I do think a lot of them get in that for that reason. And some of them go on to higher levels and begin up to be enemies of their own people. But I think that it's levels to it, and you got to get to a certain level before you even really initiate it for real. Like the rookies that's joining, they ain't even hip to what's really going on. So when I go to talking about the elite, quote unquote, I'm not really grouping every Freemason, every sorority cat, because some of them just as slow as hell. You know what I'm saying? They ain't, you know what I mean? I can't even say that they would be considered elite, but yeah, go ahead.
So basically going in, a lot of these people, once again, are just there like these guys to get girls and things of that nature. Some people get in and say they see the good on the outside that they're doing for the community. And we salute all the great people that that Steve Coakley talked about last night were funded, whether it was through education or whether it was through what's called it. But a lot of them have ties to these secret occults. Now, in higher that you rise up in notoriety, for instance, right? It seems to be what you're saying is that you get closer to being an enemy of your people. So I don't think that these brothers started out to want to be enemies to their people. But what's interesting, right, what I want to talk to you about is, right, that we're going to find out when we listen more into this, that what made them turn away from it is they went back to the church, back to Jesus. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And so the interesting part about that is that's a Masonic Sunday school is a Masonic level of degree as well. So can you kind of get the people when we talk about occults and symbolism and stuff like that, what is Sunday school, and then somebody leaving, say, the church environment and then going into this environment that we're about to see, what would be the difference, brother? If there is any difference that they understand.
I don't think it's a difference. I think it's different extensions of the same culture. The people who we call fraternity members, sorority members, they are part of Greek societies. And when you get into the church, you're dealing with a Greek spiritual system, a Greek religion. So I think that this actual form of spiritual system justifies all of the other affiliations as far as assimilating into their oppressors' culture. You know what I'm saying? Greek culture or whatever, you know. So I do think it's two heads of the same beast, if you will. You feel what I'm saying there, Chief?
Yeah, I was sending that text in right there. Hey, shout out to Keese. I guess that's how you pronounce that. Yeah, I mean, what is interesting that these people right here, like, you know, from my research from this or whatever, when we talk about Baby Boule, a lot of these people, once again, it's kind of almost a psychological, almost get along, right? But that's what it kind of is, that this is a social club, this is a social thing, right? But the sinister side of it is that the bottom don't know what the top is doing and who they're connected to. See what I'm saying? Like, even when they're telling the story, they're still a part of the system. You understand what I'm saying? Like, even these guys is telling you was never at that point to where we're going to get the right information. Now, hopefully Keith and anybody else, you'll be able to be heard and we can get your truths and things of that nature, whatever. But a lot of stuff is art, like even some of the rituals and the seances and stuff, none of that matters. Like, we understand that all that exists. What's the ultimate goal? If you guys are for good, then there shouldn't be no problem. Like, you should have your own secrets and stuff like that. I don't have a problem with y'all running your shit, but you have 100-year start, and within that 100 years, we lost. We didn't gain. We lost. See what I'm saying? So kind of speak on that when we talk about a historical context of the miseducation. These people are a big part of stealing our minds, brother.
Yeah, in my opinion, and before I say this, let me say what I'm about to say. It don't mean every brother joining these things have this intent, but it just points out the agenda of the group, whether the initiate know it or not. These groups are made to rewrite the history of our forefathers. And I'll give you a prime example. You know, our great grandfathers may come up orally telling us we're Aboriginals. We're quote unquote Indians, right? But when you go to college, and especially if you're going to like Princeton, Harvard, some of these uppity colleges, and you pledge in these different so-called esteemed fraternities and organizations, and what you've been taught in the college is that, you know, you come from Africa. A lot of these fraternities is based around African studies and Cometicism. The fraternity Alpha Phi Alpha, which is the first Black fraternity, is based around the 7 most iconic pharaohs of ancient Egypt. If you look at all of their artwork and stuff, it's based upon the pyramids in Egypt and all their symbolism. So what I'm saying is, you have an Aboriginal joining Greek societies, and these Greek societies are part of the Pan-Hellenic Council, and that includes the whole Greco-Egyptian mindset of the Pan-African. You know what I'm saying? The Babylonian mindset to make them go against the truth of their ancestors in return for the so-called credentials and education. it ain't like what everything we learning in school. We agreeing that their history is correct. And so I think a lot of times brothers may know better, but they can't do better. It's similar to like a person going to medical school who can't speak about, you know, this current situation with the prick or whatever. We ain't gonna get in too deep into that. So they can't really go against their own bar or their own institutions that gave them their credentials. They rather go against their forefathers instead of push back at that university that gave them that degree and say, well, you know what, professor, I don't think that's true about our history here as a people. I want to challenge you. You know, right there, you're going to be targeted. So I think, you know, a lot of this is just furthering the programming in a way to make you now an active warrior against the truth.
That's messed up. So,
yeah.
I mean, yo, this is a short video right here. I would love to talk to Keith and anybody else. There you go, Keith. I don't know if that's you in the middle, bro. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Keith. I just, you know, like I said, you know, I've heard a lot of people will come out and stuff like that or whatever, but they really never give up the secrets of all this stuff. And I want to get to the bottom of it. You know what I mean? Like, I want to get to the bottom of it, because if we saying these just gatekeepers that are stopping progression, matter of fact, fuck stopping, have created a system that took from us, that's taking from us every day, right? And it's not giving shit back, but buffoonery, right? So when we see them punishing the ones that speak out against it, you know, that even when Dave Chappelle said what he said, right, that has nothing technically to do with this or that, but it's all related if people understand, right? And there's some things or whatever that they say, well, we'll get more money off of the anti part of it. They'll still push their agenda up for us. Say, okay, you guys are mad about transgender shit. Okay, we'll push that to the forefront even more. And now we're gonna get more sympathy for votes or money that goes towards something that doesn't even have a problem, like Asians having, like us having. Yeah, I'm actually about that, brother. You know, when they passed the law about the Asian hate crime, did you think that was an issue in America, brother?
I don't think it was an issue for real. Not enough to even pass bills or raise a concern about. I don't think it was. I think they was doing it just to be divisive and piss people off.
Yeah, but what I'm saying though, like it's just really crazy though how the media is, you know, implicit in the whole thing. But once again, though, the people that in media be or frat brothers and sisters are part of these cults. They just at a higher level now, and they say, look, we Judge O'Brien, we'll give you $20 million a year to disrespect your own people. But he was doing it. He had a long time to be on the bench doing it in real time and locking people up and experimenting on our people, brother. Kind of talk about that, brother. Like the historical aspect of what they're calling racism, what I'm calling a thievery, a theft, a Tory, right? So kind of break that down for the people, brother.
Yeah, can you clarify that a little bit more, Chief?
Well, Ab's having some problems string here. Hold on 1 second, yeah.
Yeah, my bad.
Okay, I got you. He'll be in a minute, yeah. Yeah, well, I was talking about far as just the historical, you know, your opinion on, okay, we have 100-year, these people right here that we saying that are fraternity, you know what I'm saying, the Divine Nine and all these people or whatever, right? And we're going to get a little deeper into what they believe in. But when you first come in, you don't know this coming in the door that what we're going to talk about. Just kind of get to the historical aspect of it from your research, brother. How does that damage so-called Black people here in America, brother?
I mean,
how did it damage us? How did it damage us?
Yeah.
Because it happened.
how did the Divine Nine damage us, and we going from a historical perspective. Yeah, I think what the if we want to start with what's his name, Prince Hall in Boston, when it first started, he wanted to model the Prince Hall Freemasons off of Skull and Bones. You know, if you look at what Skull and Bones do, you know, they instrumental into like I said, rewriting history, plagiarizing ancient relics and all of this stuff, speaking for the dead, all kind of desecration and etc. But here for the first time, you got a black group that want to model themselves off of one of their most oppressive enemy groups. You know what I'm saying? So now what Prince Hall started was openly accepting guys who willing to be trustees, so to speak. So even on a plantation, the slave master have a group of Negroes who would be a small cabal that's secretly in charge of watching the large herd. And you never know who watching you, who working for Massa. He kept it that way, a small group, and that way Massa can have eyes everywhere, and the people snitching won't be even jeopardized. So like small groups of secret societies, even in slavery, working with the Massa. And so I think that was rebuilt with Prince Hall. A new type of trustee, a new type of sellout. And I think everything is mutating for the worse with every generation, you know, and it's degrees of Freemasonry and oppressing your own people for the New World Order agenda to work is really a union of sellouts. It's really a bunch of flags at that table of people who working against their own people, which is to say, when you look at it, it's just the rich versus the poor at the end of the day. And that everybody who joining these groups got some in common. They got some kind of ambition or greed to get ahead some kind of way. And they willing to do it even through mysticism, because no one really knows what these organizations is about till you join. But what drives one to join, if you ask me, is driven by the few to get ahead. And that right there, to me, is the foundation of a person that's, you know, willing to sell their own people out.
Well, bro, Sanchez, we got the Copper Grizzly, aka Big Aboriginal Power, has entered the building. You know, I wish we had those things like you be having, like the claps and all that shit. It'd be like a stadium.
Hey man,
what up, Al? What to do, bro?
What's good?
Hey, what's going on, man? I'm trying to get my device working. Can y'all hear me, man?
Hey man, I thought you was running around here for a second, man. I didn't know what we was gonna do. I was like, AP done got cold feet. I said, nah, he gotta have some issues going on.
It's a beautiful Sunday, G. Nah, you
it's
know my phone ain't never work. My phone don't work on StreamYard, so I had to get my other device and shit. Oh, nigga,
that's what's up, man.
But yeah,
glad
man,
you can do this, brother.
Man, shout out to bro Sanchez, shout out to the
Salute
American
to my
Aborigines
brother.
in the chat, man. Peace and blessings. Let's get it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, are you ready to get into the conversation right now? We can come back to this video later.
No, I'm definitely ready to get into the conversation. You know what I mean?
Okay. Well, I don't know how we got here, but I think it was a misunderstanding. But bro Sanchez was here first. We're gonna let bro Sanchez give his take on why we at this point right now. To going into this is a face-off to see what we're gonna debate about, when we're gonna debate, and what's the parameters behind it. Let's go.
You know what? I think what me and him was debating about previously, we should just dead that, because I think that was just a little side argument that went too long during a stream. But if me and him gonna debate in the future, I would like for us to get creative here today and really find a good title that we both would disagree on, that the people will really benefit from that title. Like some of the stuff I teach, I consider myself an Aboriginal, of course. It salutes to y'all, brothers, but some of the stuff I teach, not every Aboriginal agree with it, of course. Flat Earth is one of them, of course, but we ain't gonna get into that. I know not all Aboriginals agree, just like not all Comedics, not all Christians, etc. I want to know from the brother Al Powers, there's something he heard me say in specific that he would want to push back on, and I can kind of build on it a little bit now, and we can see where we can get some good kind of arguing points.
Okay, Al, you got the floor, brother. Respond to that.
All right, man. Shout out to everybody, man. Peace and blessings. You said a lot, man. And shout out to you again, once again, for even acknowledging your Aboriginal heritage. Some people are more advanced when it comes to the science and culture and who we are, able to make these connections. And like you said, not all Aboriginals agree on everything. And you brought up flat Earth. Maybe some of them don't, but the reason they probably don't is because they don't understand what their ancestors wrote. So, like I said, there's people that is advanced on laying down that particular cosmology of science out as well. So, this is where two roads meet. So what I did hear from you particularly, that I right off the top of my head, which is one of your last fields that I kind of glanced at, you was going in on the Asian connection, out of Asia, breaking down the historical narrative, saying that pretty much the original people of this land is pretty much the same stock of the people of Asia. That I disagree with. So that's just the first thing.
Said, what was the last sentence there, my brother?
How the people of America stock is pretty much the same stock of the Asian or Cambodian stock that you were mentioning.
Hold up, you said spot or stock? My bad. Let me cut my head.
Stock. My bad. My audio might be a little off.
No, you good. Okay, I got you.
As the same lineage or ethnicity or classification group.
Well, I would say not even more so of the same genetics or DNA necessarily. I believe they probably was in the argument that I make, being that the copper-colored people of North America wasn't always just exclusive to this land. I believe not only are we Aboriginal to this land, but we had a whole nother empire in another part of the world, kind of like how Rome grew their empire and had different empires all over the world. I think that the copper-colored Aboriginals, our ancestors of this land, had an empire in Southeast Asia called the Khmer Empire. And I got a lot of research that led me to that belief. But the way I speak about that, it's the fact that you could debate it from a genetic standpoint or lineage standpoint, like you said, or you can debate it from just I would like to look at it like their spiritual system has spread. When Rome conquer different places in the world, you find out them people become Christians over time. They be Christians today, or like so that's kind of like what I think Columbus was faced with. He saw the same spiritual system in these two parts of the world, so he identified the people based on the spiritual system, not necessarily the skin tone or the genetics. I think he just was saying Indian based upon the ancient word for Buddhist or Hinduist or someone who meditated. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Well, and I can understand why you would say that, but under different observations and different methodologies of science, or even genetics, or even just contributions in general, we can even get to a conclusion that maybe America, and get to a better conclusion that maybe America is not this melting pot that has been alluded to in the Clovis first conversations and these other conversations. As a matter of fact, it is exclusive to a particular set of people, and they actually crafted their science around it, and then later on it become a melting pot. As this becomes a melting pot, you see the journey being took on the road, whether it was in Cambodia, whether it was in Turkey, whether it was in northern Egypt, Mesopotamia. You find the fingerprints of America there, and we're gonna get into that in the sciences as well within this conversation. So
yeah,
that's
so that's exactly what I'm saying. That the original people on this land had a spiritual system, and that spiritual system didn't get muddied and become this melting pot till the pilgrims came. But I do think that spiritual system that was practiced here prior to the pilgrims coming wasn't just being practiced here, that the people here was so powerful. Just like if you look at the Black Americans here today, our culture being practiced all over the world. And unfortunately, they even got Crips and Bloods in the UK, because it's just something about the copper-colored man over here that you got people playing 50 Cent on the radio in the Middle East. So I think it's always been like that. I'm with you. I'm saying that the original people on this land had a certain customs and spiritual systems, but I think they was more than a national people. You know how some cats be like, I'm internationally known, baby. That's what I think was happening. I think the Olmecs was known. They was like these rock stars, kind of like how us Negroes are today. Everybody know about Black Americans all over the world for our swagger and stuff. That's what I was seeing in my research. Just like you said, you can find American culture in a lot of other places, you know, and that's what I was peeping like, damn, we've been spreading our swag around.
Well, AP just fell out for a second. He'll be right back. I'll continue the conversation. Oh no, he's right back.
But what you think about that though?
And no. Yeah, I absolutely understand what you were saying. Somehow I got cut off. But yeah, the system, and I do believe that it got corrupted with foreigners. I'm not gonna say just with pilgrims because we know that they corrupted, but I believe all foreign concepts in a way corrupted, and you see it with one of the early invasions in this land, which has happened to be what I will identify and what I believe my ancestors depicted and described was one of the earliest Asian invasions documented and recorded. And this influence came about as well.
Yeah, a lot of my
concepts adapted to our spiritual systems, but made it corrupted as well. That's what I believe in.
I feel you.
Well, that's what I can prove.
Yeah, a lot of my research do show like
so when you're dealing with a certain aspect of Aboriginal culture, you want to look at ethnicity, you want to look at culture, you want to look at customs, you want to look at traditions. Overall, at what's going to be birthed or what's going to be produced off of this is inventions and contributions. Excuse me. Inventions and contributions. And these contributions and inventions is going to be advancements for society. And it's not going to just be exclusive as things go on. It's going to be exclusive it's going to be used for all societies and all civilizations to advance.
Can I interject something?
This is when you started to see certain civilizations advance.
Well, AP, real quick.
Based off
AP, real quick. Is that
or having decide?
Well, AP. Yeah, I don't know if you can hear me. I got a question for you. Can you hear me? Testing.
I can hear you.
Okay, AP, I don't know. You got to go out and come back in.
Y'all hear me?
We can hear you. You can't hear us.
Yeah, I can hear you.
AP, go out, come back in. Well, the question I have for him, you know, and you, bro Sanchez, that's something as you when you say that it comes out of Asia. You know, a lot of times they talk about a lot of the science and technology and things came out of Asia. Could that be something that we put in this debate? Like, where does civilization, or where do certain sciences and math and all those type of things? Let me ask you a question. Where do you think those things come from, brother?
Where do I think civilization come from?
Yeah, science, algebra, calculus,
Yeah,
trigonometry. Where do you
you
think that
know,
come from, bro?
all of that, all of those things, they feel are the foundations of civilization. So let's sum it up. Let's say, where do I think civilization originate from? Can I tackle that one?
Absolutely, brother. Perfect.
All right. I think civilization originated from the creator. And I mean that whatever the creator is that created this universe, it created it civilized. Now, being non-civilized originate from man. I don't think it go the other way around. I think that man was actually created a civilized individual. I don't think the creator created barbarians. I think that the creator created angelic beings with intelligence and was civilized, and then something happened where they fell from their mental state and they start to engage into unnatural, uncivilized behavior. So in essence, I don't think civilization originated in one particular geographic location. No different do I think kissing or having sex or walking originated in one geographic location. I think it was just something that came with part of being human from the get-go.
So what you would say is that based off of your research all these years, that basically when you get to the creative concept, it's kind of like it's hypothetical at that point. You understand my
No,
point?
well, it's not hypothetical unless, let me ask you this question. Do you think that what you see outside is a creation?
Yes and no. If you
Are
can
you talking
understand that.
about the natural things like grass,
Yeah,
trees?
what you consider our world, right? A
Uh-huh.
creation, a creation.
All right. Do you believe in the Sumer creation? Like everything came from Sumer first. Like they said that when we talk about civilization, we talk about math, science, arithmetic, language. They say it
Yeah,
comes from Sumer. What's your push? What's your take on that, brother?
yeah. See, I'm gonna stay with my same answer. When you talk about math, it's simple as adding, subtracting, counting, and I think that humans naturally counted. I think any human on earth that ever looked up at the stars have said one there, two there, three there. Hey, look at that. Maybe they didn't say one, two. Maybe they said unos, dos, tres, that, but they did something to distinguish numerical value. So I don't think like one group of people can be attributed for something as simple as counting, problem
Well,
solving.
okay, right. But when I got you, so what we got to figure out because they're saying that it comes from them. That's what
I
they're
hear it.
teaching.
I hear you.
And so we're gonna have to have that conversation within this conversation because
Yeah,
right now I'm about to
that's
ask Big Aboriginal Power, where does civilization come from? And then we'll see his answer. Go ahead, Ab.
well. This is a good question. And as of far as right now, we can only go with what the research says and what data collectively says. If we're going with general consensus, if we want to go with primaries, we will have to deal with the people who lived at those times and what they recorded. So I can give you both aspects of it. And here I'm gonna say civilization under my research, under my understanding, uh, civilization was around the world. Now you have civilization, you have advanced civilization. I believe we are the progenitors of what we would call advanced civilization. I believe it started here in America.
Hey, bro, Sanchez, would that be something you would like to debate? One topic, like where civilization comes from?
Okay, so the debate would be, I'm saying civilization coming from the creator, and he's saying it's coming from America, right? And we would
I
debate
guess
that.
I don't know. I don't know how to debate the creator though. Like I don't know that
Because
guy.
that's
The creator's tough.
those are the hold on a second. Those are the arguments being made real quick.
Well, let me clarify. Let me clarify what I'm saying, right? Because I just stated that civilization was everywhere. Now, the advancements of civilization is key because you can have a society which there's nomadic societies around, constantly around, does not build it. They have no advancement to their society way of living. And so, with the advancements to society, creates this civilization, this thriving for the better whole of this conglomerate, if you will. So, what I'm saying is, the advancements of civilization came from the Americas. Yes.
Okay, so we're dealing with the advancement of civilization. All right, and that give us some room for disagreement. All right, let me push
I don't
back.
believe civilization was started from one person. I don't believe that.
No, me neither. Hell no, not one person. Hell no, hell no. One
group,
yeah.
one nation. Yeah, nothing like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So what I would say is this. I like when you put advancement on it because that get us closer to something we can disagree on and formulate an argument here. So let me give you some what I think about that. I think that everybody who was civilized had their own type of advanced technology. And certain things that your civilization may not been advanced at, other ones was, but what they weren't advanced at, you was. Like today, we may be more advanced than other people with military might and force, but we ain't more advanced than China with this electronics and stuff and technology and stuff, or we ain't more advanced than the Middle East when it comes to how to negotiate oil unions or whatever. So what I'm saying is, like, to make a long story short, I'm willing to debate that all civilizations around the world was on some level of advanced technology based upon the ruins that we see in their land today. For example, even though I'm not a Pan-African, I do know that there are light bulbs carved in the wall in Egypt, or Crookes tubes. In North America, you got evidence of electronic systems being used. In parts of Southeast Asia, like I said, you got the same stone cutting technology going on. And even Stonehenge over there in I think that's in Europe, people can't explain what kind of technology lifted those blocks. So I think that, me personally, when I look around the world, I can find something on each land that'll make me say, damn, now, this kind of it, even the Antikytherian mechanism that was found.
I believe they can explain it. My bad, brother, sister. I didn't mean to cut your wisdom.
No, you good. You good.
I believe they can explain it. I believe they just don't want to. This is a form of uniformitarianism. And once they find something that changes the narrative, they kind of hold off and keep pushing what's already been pushed. It's kind of like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Even though the information shows that it contradicts what's been the information is broken within itself and it won't be fixed. So I believe that they know exactly what's going on. I believe we have to get into migrations. We have to get into that. We have to get into early history, recorded history from the people alleged to create these great monuments or these great endeavors. We want to get into the recorded records of them.
Yes, most definitely. So what I say is this: when it comes to research, I deal with architecture as the foundation for letting the ancestors tell us who they are. Because to me, I think the ancestors left in all of their structures and architecture who they were in stone. And once we ignore that and go to the records of what the oppressors saying about our ancestors, I think that we should always challenge what they're saying versus just simply regurgitate it as a source information. So yeah, that's it in a nutshell.
Are we gonna determine what can go in the debate should be in the side of theory? Or are we only gonna allow what's to go in the debate what's a fact? Bro Sanchez, that question for you, brother. Go ahead.
I think we can do a little bit of both, man, in the debate.
I'm gonna try my best to leave as many theories out. I'm gonna try to deal with the most the best established facts that I can. If we do get into theories, obviously they can be argued and critiqued from anyone's point of view. So I'm definitely I agree with that as well. So I'm ready to put it on the table, man. Like I said, a lot of this information out here shows who we are, what we have done. Uh, a lot of the shit contradicts what old history said. You know, you got Ivan Van Sertima that talked about they was here before Christopher, you know, before Columbus. You got a lot of references that he gives to the pygmies, and then we got to understand that just under an outdated understanding, you will be alluded to some false information that these people are is where you come from, or these people are the first. And these are the things we have to get into, because we start breaking down what a particular group of people is and what their contributions is. You can see it by the sheer numbers, by the sheer uh, amount. If we can just use our common sense by how long it takes to build something generally normal, how long would it take to construct something then that obviously was considered generally normal? So this is how we come up with conclusions of other things. But I'm definitely willing to get into the work, man, the primary research to show how our ancestors created an advancements and inventions that obviously went across the world, pre-Columbian oceanic voyages is what I'm talking about.
So, Chief, what kind of debate can you formulate based on that? Where me and him coming from on as far as advanced civilizations go? And that can just be one argument though in a debate.
Yeah,
We
I
can
mean,
have
like I
more.
said, this is a conversation. You know what I mean? Because like I said, you're coming into this Aboriginal information much like we all have. So to have our narratives and our understandings to put on the table and to be put out in front of the world to have their opinion and to be able to look at the data and to come up with their own conclusions to be what best get pushed in the community as a general consensus is fine with me anyway. You see what I'm saying? It's all for the people to have a clear understanding of who we are, so they're not confronted with confusion or uncertainty when implementing this information. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel you. And we can have a couple of arguments. I think we got a fire one to start with. Let me ask you this. You were saying something earlier about the Asiatic concept in the last stream I made, but I don't think you really finished going into what you was saying fully. Did you want to go back to that?
No,
We
I
didn't
was
really.
just
Yeah.
I didn't elaborate on it, but I was just saying I didn't catch your build in totality, so I don't want to speak out incorrectly. But I did kind of hear you make some key points of those pretty much being the same people here of the same stock, but like you said, mentioned you would clarify saying only spiritual wise or concept wise,
Yeah,
not
and let me show you why I say that. My statues in Wat in the Khmer Empire that resembling the same exact spiritual system as the Olmecs and all them same symbols, same style of architecture, same sacred symbols and signs and all that stuff. the concept of sin Indian style. It's something that Columbus saw that made him look at us and say, refer to us as Indian. And when we look at them Olmec statues, the answer is there. Also, the word nigger come from the word naga, which is a Hindu or Indian word dealing with, that would be the same thing as a meditating Buddha, saying that in a meditating position, you become a naga in spirit. That's all it meant. So yeah, it's like so they actually called us niggas based on our spiritual system. Yeah.
I'm glad you brought that up about the Naga, the Buddha, because even within their own mythology, because their mythology is a way for them to tell their remembrance or the reverement or their true history in a way for it to last without it getting altered in a way. This is why they form mythology. So, and even within their mythology, they're explaining who gave birth, whether scientific or spiritual wise, to the Indus Valley. You feel me? Or to the Naga culture. So when you hear Naga culture, you got Buddha, and who gave birth to Buddha, and we'll get into that.
The Nagas, the Naga ain't really the god Buddha. Buddha was a Naga, and Nagas were just what a term we would say for yogi or sensei, of wise, sort of on some Confucius type shit, right? Where you meditating and you coming up with advanced technology for your people and shit. So if you go and research what the Naga was, it was a Hindu deity, but it wasn't no spook god like these religions today. It was saying you in a concentrated state, the human in a meditated state or critical thinking state is powerful. Like when you look at the picture of, go ahead.
Hey, what's crazy about what you're saying, because I know exactly what you mean. Buddha is actually the representation of the Naga
he's a Naga.
In physical form. So what's crazy about that is that even understanding the culture, then it shows a gradual understanding that ain't even really looked at when you just looking at it from a surface basis. For instance, the Naga culture is already at its height with the spirituality. There's no growth. The concept has already been used and spread. It's established. You see what I'm saying? There's no growth in it. That means it was already established when they started using it.
Where is it coming? Where does it come from? Where do you say it's coming from?
Well, we're gonna get into that, right? And I say it come from.
Well, I'm just saying, is that a point of contention? Is that a point of contention for the debate?
I say it come from the Americas, and the reason I say that because
talk to us.
Even within this concept, it's explaining the Naga culture dealing with the serpents is already at a height. They already have an understanding. There's no growth and development to the understanding of the spirituality. It's already established who is. And it's just like when you see the Aztec representing the Kukulkan or the Quetzalcoatl. It's already established because it comes from a prior culture already practicing it and implementing it. So we're going to get into that as well. Like I said, it's a lot of history out there. It's a lot of shit out there.
Now here's the thing. Now we're saying, if you guys are both saying that both cultures are connected, correct? Is that what y'all saying?
Yeah, but he's saying, listen, I think we both saying both cultures are connected, but he's saying how they connect.
We have a different orientation for the migration.
Yeah, right. He's saying it's they're connected because of it's coming out of America, right? Is what he's saying.
And you're saying it's coming out of Asia, basically. Let's cut the chase.
I'm saying it's coming out of the Indus Valley and the Khmer Empire. Yeah.
That's Asian.
Which is the
Gotcha.
same thing. Which is the same thing that Ivan Van Sertima and all the other ones said. I'm just updating their research because if they was around, they would be pushing the same into the out of America science as well. We can get into that as well.
Sanchez said he gonna smoke your boots though. On that one right there,
he
that's
said
his.
Smoke your boots. Hey, well, check this out. Here's what I'm gonna say.
Go ahead, bro.
Here's what
I
I'm
haven't
gonna
heard
say.
that in a long time.
The foundation of the whole spiritual system of meditation and the Nagini culture, it started from Jainism, the Jain people, and that is like the ancient Khmer Empire and all that stuff. Now, no one can say that the people who was in America wasn't practicing this spiritual system during the time that the Jain people was practicing it. Now, everybody in the world today knows there's something called astrology and astronomy. Astrology and astronomy is based upon the Vedic system of astrology. The Vedics are the ancient Indus Valley people, Khmer people. To this day, this is a fact. Even in America, all of our calendars, all of our astronomical systems are based on the Vedic system.
Can you, just for the viewers' sake, because you just touched on some shit that I like to touch on, which that's why I even enjoy even having this debate with you. Most people
want to debate.
Man. So, can you explain what the difference is between astrology and astronomy for the people?
Yeah. So astronomy is simply the study of the stars, the positioning of the stars, trying to predict where the stars going to be from time to time, simple things of that nature. Astrology is interpreting the energy of the stars into zodiac frequencies and signs and Sagittarius, Leo, and let me tell you your sign and what's the best day for you to do this or do that, and getting into when the plant crops based upon the position. That is like the part of the stars that goes into a more spiritual side, whereas astronomy is the part that's more mathematical. You can chart the stars, position them. Is more just, you know what I mean? So that's the only difference. Astrology dealing with the zodiac, astrological signs and things of that nature, frequency, the energies.
I got a question before I forget this, y'all. It's a question for both of y'all, and you guys can go in any order and answer the question. Out of debates if you've had, who's your toughest debate, and what made it tough? What was that? I'm one of these nosy reporters, y'all. I'm a nosy journalist. I just want to know.
Who was my toughest debate? I'm gonna have to think about that one. I'm gonna let Ab go first while I think about that one.
Yeah, because that's kind of hard for me to answer too, man. I probably haven't had as many debates as you, bro, Sanchez, but I'm like 9 debates in live on YouTube, right, with moderated and everything. So I don't know, man. I don't know. The hardest debate I had, Vegan Warrior, based off his semantics. Vegan Warrior, right? Hey, Vegan Warrior probably was the toughest one. It was hard to get out a lot of the information. That was like in 2018, man. It was one of my earlier debates. Y'all go check that out on my channel.
Yeah, I'm going to check that out.
Yeah, Vegan Warrior is a solid debater. Yeah, he's a solid debater. I done sparred with him a few times.
Yeah, he was one of my earlier debates,
Yeah, man. Salutes to that brother.
YouTube running.
Hold on. I'm talking to people in my chat room. My bad, y'all.
It's all good. Tell them subscribe.
Oh yeah, man. They already know.
Salute, man. Tell them go subscribe to Big Aboriginal Power.
Oh yeah, man. Aboriginal Power Supreme
So
Chief
yeah,
Holiday. Yeah, subscribe. For sure.
hey,
Go ahead.
so yeah, like I said, we're both saying agreements in this conversation, and that's going to happen when you're claimed to be an Aboriginal. We're going to have agreements. But like I said, we have a differ on the orientation of this migration of how the science came. So, which is a dope one. This is probably the most common contention point within this conversation throughout time. So, we're definitely going to get into it, man. I'm definitely looking forward to it.
Okay, and then we'll
Shout out to all the
schedule it,
Aborigines in the chat, man. Make sure y'all drop some fire emojis out there. Drop some fire emojis.
Yeah, let's
My bad, bro. What you say?
Let's schedule that thing on the back end, and we can get it popping. I think we got I forgot we had a original argument too. We need to have a couple of different arguments throughout the debate. So the migration will be one.
Yeah. I kind of want to get back into that, but I don't think it has nothing to do with the Aboriginal argument. You was going in on craniology and how it's not used, it's not right. But I think you referenced Lucy as an African. We was talking about. You was like, yeah, they found Lucy bones, and they did the study on her, and they said she was an African Negroid. And I was at that time, there was a lot of people on your panel. You was hyped. You told me to shut the fuck up. I was actually angry. I would have probably slapped the shit out of you that day. I was pissed off. But I was like, man,
see how this brother went back and brought up some,
deal with the information.
And you messing the energy up, brother. Everybody know when me and you first streamed, we clashed. And
it's all good. It's all good.
It wasn't even that serious, man. But I think you just crossed the line over there. That's kind of like going back into the negativity and shit. You know what I mean?
Well, let's move past that, man.
But in that conversation,
we all men. It's got a little tough.
In that part of the conversation, you was talking about craniology. Mm-hmm. You was talking about you was all good. It's all good. It ain't no hard feelings. We was dealing with craniology. You was like, yeah, they classify Lucy as a Negroid and an African and all these things. And I was like, no, they didn't. You see what I'm saying? That was my only contention point with what you were saying. Pretty much everything else I agree with.
You disagree with? I don't even see exactly what the disagreement was on Lucy though. Still.
Oh no, we were just saying that she's they classified her as a hominid, not a Negroid or African. That was and the only reason I brought that up is because you want to get to the original argument of the conversation.
Yeah, I never.
That was the only argument that I had.
I never debated you on what they classified her was. They consider her Australopithecus. They said Australopithecus originated in Africa.
No, we never.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, we not. No, actually, we never had a conversation on it. But you had spoke on it, and I was trying to insert that I disagreed, and I was going to state why I disagreed with that particular comment. But that's, we can move past it. But like I said, the argument that day didn't have nothing to do with the Aboriginal information, is what I was saying initially.
Hey, salutes to my brothers in the chat room. I see y'all. I'm just letting y'all know I do see y'all out there. Salutes. We getting it in. Supreme Chief Holiday.
So yeah, man, we wind this thing down. I know you had some stuff you had to do. So I had a lot of questions. We probably had to do some stuff on the back end, start building this up. When I hear anything that comes from out of Africa or the theory of evolution, for me, I can't really say, okay, that's it for me. You understand what I'm saying? So it's going to be kind of hard as the moderator. To one, I'm going to try. It's hard for me to even discuss, with a straight face, theories and hypotheses. It's hard for me. You know what I mean? So it's going to be kind of hard for me to express that without being able to drop that into the, y'all understand what I'm saying? Y'all can, whatever explanation that you have of the actual facts that are there, and we go from there. But other than that, you know, we're gonna have to get past some of these terminologies and stuff too, because they weren't, you know, it's not terms that we use for ourselves. And so these debates and stuff are to get the information to a broader sense of the people. So that's why we're gonna do this. You understand what I'm saying? So that's why we appreciate bro Sanchez, because the rest of them scared as hell. Like I asked you a question earlier. What was your toughest debate? And I don't mean that he was tough or whatever. Just, you know, at the time, you know, it was just this particular person curriculum stands out to you, bro.
I never answered who was my toughest debate. I'm gonna have to go with It sure wasn't Young Pharaoh. Let me see here. I can't give it to Jabari. I'm gonna have to go on ahead, man, and go and give that thing to Gorilla Hebrew. I got to, cause Gorilla Hebrew came with that energy. You know how the Hebrews are. And yeah, you know, they was deep in the chat. It was tough. It was tough with them Hebrews, man. So now that I think about it, going after that Bible and having Gorilla Hebrew debate, that was probably my toughest one. But it wasn't too tough for me though. Even my toughest debate, I don't consider that as I still didn't break a sweat.
So for you, you're saying you never lost a debate, correct?
That's how I feel too.
No, I'm just saying. I know Ab is undefeated. So you feel that you're undefeated, bro, Sanchez?
I think the people feel that way too. And I don't think, yeah.
Jabari. I thought Jabari was Mayweather over there. What happened? Didn't you and Jabari have a debate?
Yeah, man. But you know, the whole strategy.
I see that debate. He smoked Jabari, man.
What was the debate about? Because I didn't see it. I'm gonna have to go back and check it out.
It was
the debate about, bro?
Flat Earth, globe Earth.
Whether or not
it
globe
was big.
or flat, he smoked him. He smoked this game.
And then the highlight argument of the debate was whether or not the Egyptians subscribe to flat Earth or not. And so the crazy thing about it, the strategy that I used was to make him a Kemetic priest show up going against Nut and Gab, which is the foundation of Kemeticism. So right there off the back, I think I had him beat from the get-go. He couldn't find no globe nowhere in Egypt. So, you know, regardless of what the judges and
I'm not even gonna lie. That was back in.
Yeah, that was
back in 2018, correct?
Yeah, that was
2017. I was really teeter-totting on a lot of the information. That made me a believer, that debate. I remember that. I started doing a lot of research on cosmology with the Aboriginal American cosmology here, and just it was like, damn, it's been right here the whole goddamn time.
Yeah, so I think that if there's any Aboriginals out there in your chat room that in the future would like to debate the flat Earth thing, that might be a far future one as well, man. That might be a far one. Think the Aboriginals kind of split up on that.
Well,
on
what? We go back to what the ancients said, bro. So they didn't get on those ships and then go outside and take pictures of the Earth. All that's fake. So for me, that comes first, and then colonization brings you globe. Colonization brings you occultism and stealing of our shit. Now I know that was something that we were talking about earlier. Watching this video that we have up here, right? But the seriousness of this is that this is all connected.
Yeah, because I like.
It's all connected. All the hiding of
it
information.
is. Like I said, I told you.
Go ahead, bro.
I told you a while ago that I wanted to do a bill with Bro Sanchez, breaking down some of the history and the cosmology of our ancestors and what they recorded about this being an infinite plane of existence, if you will. Uh, so yeah, man, I've always wanted to go in on that, man, from that aspect. But see, so that's maybe something we can do in the future after we, do these debates or put
Yeah.
some of these down, for the record as well. So we can definitely get into some of that information as well.
And I think we need to just, after this, we can get behind the scenes and come up with an official title and an argument for the debate. And after that, we can start getting right into the flat earth thing, man, because that's where I shine at. I don't think a lot of people really understand how you can have a group of people, because I know you saying that our ancestors said it was flat and they had flat earth cosmology, but then I can actually prove it too with the science and the slides and all that as well.
Because I show slides. I show actual. My bad.
Yeah, because I see Free Papa saying, let's put flat earth to bed. So I see the chat room kind of mixed up on that. So that's why I think that's going to be a fire one in the future.
Well, once again, the argument still goes where it came from. Where does the science come from? Right?
You said what? Okay, yeah, go ahead.
We're still talking about if there's architecture, it did not pop up around the world at the same time. So that's going to be the crux of everything, because then everything else kind of goes with that argument, right? Because I asked you before, how did you know that the Nagas are air quote black people, brother? And AP, why the hell you think you come from America and everybody else say you from Africa? So these are two questions for you guys.
Why do I think the Nagas was black people? That was my question, right? So yeah, I think the Nagas was black people.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I think the Nagas was black people because when you look at the carvings, the images of the Naga that's still left, which we can pull up, they resemble who we would call copper-colored black people of America. And I think that's why they call us niggas today, because we the original Nagas.
And that's it.
No, I got way more. I got slides and all of that. I'm just being brief because, I know we about to get ready to shut down. I'm just trying to answer you in a nutshell.
Okay. All right. That's cool. Hey, Pete, you, what? You was a Pan-African back in the days. What was it about the Aboriginal information that made you say, you know what, fuck being an African, no disrespect to people that consider themselves Africans, or pushing a Pan-African paradigm, right? What made you come back home, brother? What was that thing that what made you come back home, brother?
That's a good ass question. And just in a nutshell, man, looking at the history, looking at the overall evidence and data about, first of all, when you're told that there was no black people nowhere except for one particular place, and that it branched out from there, that's a whole narrative that you obviously attach to your history growing up. So when you find other information that contradicts that, overwhelmingly it gets you to start questioning the narrative. So that me finding out that it was Negroes here before a so-called slave trade is what got me to start challenging the narrative about who we are.
Bro Sanchez, that's a good one. Bro Sanchez, do you believe in the transatlantic slave trade or American slavery And if you do or you don't, tell the people what's your observation or your research on the slave trade, bro.
Yeah, as far as the transatlantic slave trade, honestly, I'm gonna just I have no problem giving credit where credit is due. All of what I think about the transatlantic slave trade comes directly from the brother Dane Calloway. When I saw his work on the slave trade, it just made so much sense to me. I just adopted it until I find a better argument. You know what I'm saying? But as far as slavery on American land, that's a good question. I do think slavery happened. I don't think that the slaves came over here on no ships and that they weren't no Africans, but there was slavery going on in this land, if that's what you're asking me. And I have several sources to argue that if the time come.
Big Aboriginal power. What's your take on slavery? And do you guys think that this could be a point of contention in the debate as well? Go ahead, brother. AP.
Hey, my bad, bro. My bad.
No, it's all good. Did you hear the question?
No, I didn't. My bad.
The question is, right, about what's your take on the transatlantic slave trade, American slavery, and based off of his his answer to that question, would that be a point of contention for the debate as well?
Well, no, I mean, I'm not gonna. I mean, I ain't gonna say a point of contention. You know, we know. Shout out to A1 who put out the narrative that we didn't come over here as slaves, and that slaves was taken from the islands and taken out to Europe and then dispersed throughout various different parts of the Eastern Hemisphere. So shout out to him, Ali Muhammad, with other brothers that had that information as well, long before a lot of other people started pushing it or started regurgitating. So when we deal with a certain narrative, I'm not going to argue that slavery existed, because we know slavery existed here in America. That's a fact. Like, I got overwhelming documents. But, you know, we have to get into who was the first slaves in America and what is a slave. And then we're going to have a different demographic of people that we're looking at once we get into this narrative as well.
I see. Let me ask you a question, Chief, real quick.
Absolutely, bro.
I brought up Dane Calloway and your chat room got kind of hot, yo. Like, y'all don't rock with Dane over here.
Well, I'm gonna give y'all the real. I'm gonna give you the real since you're asking me, right? Nah, I'm gonna get to like in butt naked, right? And I was just gonna like basically like walk it down with you. Like, let's see, okay, well, what exactly did you learn? Because what I know about what Dane teaches about the transatlantic slave trade, he said it's in reverse. So my next question to you was, right, now not answering the question with a question, because if for me, like when I said on your thing that, you know, I'm one of Dane's teachers, right, I'm gonna teach you this right here because it's something that you're missing. Because, right, if I'm gonna, okay, we said, you said that the slave trade was in reverse. Now my question back to you is, what does that mean to you? The slave trade was in reverse. Because once again, I teach that the slave trade is fake, period. Right. And so people have taken bits and pieces of that with they skateboard or boogie board and boogie their way into some information. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Like, I'm just gonna keep it real. So for me, the question to you is, what does the slave trade in reverse mean to you, sir?
So I think that it's a difference between saying the slave trade in reverse versus history was told to us in reverse. But I would say this though, what does the slave trade in reverse mean to me? It actually means nothing to me, because I'm gonna be quite honest with you, Chief. I always tell my people to eat the fish and spit out the bones. I'm from the South. I know slavery exists, but I never questioned the transatlantic slave trade. Even if I think if I would have questioned it, I probably would have came to the same conclusions as you guys, but my interest was in other areas. So the thing, what I'm saying about Dane Calloway is that there's a lot of things I don't agree with what he teach, but what I credit him for is what I learned from him was, wait a minute, the whole thing about slaves coming on ships, period, need to be questioned. How they was packed in the ships like sardines, all that. I saw those dumb pictures for years, and I never thought to myself, yeah, this shit looked laughable. You know what I mean? You just kind of look at it and say, well, the slave, you know what I mean? So for me, it just sparked my interest somewhere else because and another thing I want to clarify, slaves going from here to Africa, which would be in reverse. I don't agree with that. Like I stand with you that I don't think that slaves, it's a possibility slaves could have left here and went to their own ships. I don't think they came here on ships, but what I'm taking from Dane Calloway is we should question the transatlantic slave trade. Hey, think about it. I'm just here to make you think. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie to you, like I even thought about the stuff. You know, it's so much research to do. That was just one lane that I never said, And so, you know, and I know there probably were many teachers before him, like the chat room said. But if he's bringing it back up today and making the truth popular, then hey, man, anybody speaking the truth in this generation or a future generation should get the same respect. But that's just in my book, whether a child tell it or elder tell it.
Well, here's my thing right here, right? You know, you've been doing these for a long time period. So you know that you just can't skim over the top. You have to tell the story correctly. You know what I'm saying? So we talk about, shout out to Westside Cooley. We did an interview with him the other day, and he was like, yo, it's really about these guys telling the stories correctly. And so that's kind of one of his pet peeves. He's like, yo, the story needs to be told correctly. Okay, so my question to you is, right, do you believe that Africans were captured and round up and put on the bottom of a slave boat and transported like sardines, being pissed and shit on and brought to America, brother?
Hell no. Hell no. No way.
Okay. Do you believe that the pale European is the slave? And the slave trade is talked about them, that the brother Dane Calloway talks about being in reverse, but the reverse is actually that they're talking about their enslavement for 400 plus years in Europe, Asia, Africa, as well as America, brother. Are you prepared for that, brother?
I don't agree with that. I think that there were Europeans who were enslaved, but I don't agree with that whole statement you just said there. No, not at all.
Well, and see, that's why we teach. That's why we push gas. Now, I know when I did the bill on that last Thursday, whatever, on your show, I broke down the etymology and the definition of where slave come from, right? Now, within that, how can these people without guns and the numbers move around, right? Without even the financing, right? Because they didn't have Zionists then to finance the shit and the World Banks and all the stuff that they have now. So with that being said, right, these things didn't exist. So we know that they're writing stuff and they're putting it back in history. Like earlier, you said something about Stonehenge, right? That how did they do that? Well, shout out to Lotus Television. We did a build on American Stonehenge. Y'all need to check that out on this channel, where we showed them literally the before, during, and after the making of the England Stonehenge, bro. So these people are putting this shit together like Legos and taking credit all around the world. So a lot of these things we're going to be able to put into this debate, because those are the questions I'm going to be asking. You know what I'm saying, bro? So it's a lot of things that are going to be going into this, once again, that we can prove, as opposed to what they just the stories that the Rockefellers and the Carnegies and the DuPonts and all these people. So once again, they created the whole system. So it's either you just controlled opposition or not. They control the whole thing. So that's all I just wanted to say with that, man. You know, for us to, if we're gonna tell the truth, you know what I'm saying, it's really about telling the truth, y'all. So that's kind of how I feel about it, as far as if we're gonna push the information, then we might as well tell the truth about it. So that's kind of where I'm at with it. If we're gonna go with the slave trade, let's tell it the truth.
Hey, that's
right?
why.
Go ahead, brother.
That's why I got into this information, man, is to be a truth searcher and a truth teller, man. So we cannot become emotionally attached to any of this information, even though you might be credited to a lot of it, or you might be looked at as a pillar to it. Hey, when it's wrong, man. You got to move on and adjust. This is what research is, to do it over and over and over again. Good. Shout out to the American Aborigines out there, man. Shout out to
that's
the real
right.
ones. Drop some fire emojis out there, man. I'm ready to get into the discussion, man. I'm ready to get it, man. I'm ready. Hey,
well, I could ask. Yeah, I could. I think so that we ever come up with like a good fire title for like the foundation for our debate, though, based on what me and him.
We didn't come up with a title, but we did come up with contention. So I think he was like, we get into the back end, but we can do it live. We can get into the back end. It don't matter however you want to do it, brother.
Oh, okay. Either way, you're right. Either way.
Yeah,
man.
Yeah, we'll come up with a nice title that's crafted and tailored for this particular conversation.
All right, that sounds good to me, man. I'm how long y'all gonna be live? I might hop back on.
Maybe we'll come with a southern title since we both from the South and shit.
Oh, for real? Where you from?
I'm from Tennessee.
Oh, okay. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. You right by me, man. You right by me.
Hell yeah. I ain't too far from you. Yeah. I was just in Alabama last week. I went down to Louisiana, stayed out in Mississippi, went to go check out some of the Chief Holidays, land and property and barbecue shop you got down there and shit. Yeah. I've been all down in the South this week. I'm tired.
Hey, so
matter of fact, initially when we spoke this to set up this conversation, that I was in New Orleans then, so I couldn't really get on.
That's what's good. Yeah, man. Hey, I'm looking forward to the debate, and we'll get a title and a date established on the back end. If y'all brothers are still live, when I get back, I'm gonna hop back on, man.
Yeah, do that shit. I'm pretty sure Chief will be live. I appreciate y'all for tapping in. Shout out to bro Sanchez. Hey,
yeah, much love and respect.
This was the FaceOff, man.
For sure. Salutes to y'all and salutes to the chat room. Your chat room be talking hella shit, but they ain't gonna debate me. I love their ass though. I'm gonna get up out of here. They ain't gonna debate me though.
I mean, you know, man, you know, like when we come over to your stadium, you know, they're gonna be booing in there. You know what I'm saying? So big, you know, we got to talk about all that, man. Where we gonna do this at? If you know, like it's a lot going on behind the scenes, y'all. Let me ask you a question. Another question before you go, right? If you were gonna have a debate partner, right? Who would you pick to debate with you in a 2-man debate against Al Power and say Truth Searcher, or, you know, who would?
It depends on what it depends
we got our
on
starting
what the
five
debate.
is stupid.
Yeah, it depends on what the debate topic would be, though. You know what I'm saying? And
I'm just saying though, like we're talking about the origins of civilization, some of the stuff that we're talking about. Just matter of fact, Dan Calloway's name came up before in this or whatever, so I don't know if that would be possible. You know, you said that was one of your teachers. Would you put one of your teachers as a debate partner, brother? Go ahead.
Oh yeah, hell yeah. If that brother would be willing, I'll definitely do that. I'm with the team thing too. I think I can get a fire enough team to take on whoever, man. You know, I'm with the debate.
Me too, man. I think I got a starting 5, man. It doesn't matter. I can blindly pick anyone, you know, the research partners I deal with, man.
Facts.
Yeah.
Starting 15, 20.
Yo, I don't think nobody doing it like that on a debate tip. We might be on to some new. This might be some new shit here, but yeah, that'll be dope.
Hey, you notice that nobody never asked no Aboriginals to be a part of none of their debate leagues. Solar Division, them, like all them niggas know not to have no Aboriginals on no debate league, nowhere, because we're gonna embarrass every curriculum, every like the they was like somebody asked about the Almond Fry Squad. I was like, who? Oh, that was you. I was like, who's that? They are ghosts. It's like listening to The Walking Dead. Like them niggas, we been smoked them packs up, nigga. We need new food right now. There's nobody to eat, so hence there you go. So, my bad, but you know, we hungry, bro. We hungry over here, y'all.
They about to have Almond They about to have Almond Rock Squad statues in the museum, G. They have antique.
Nigga, they gonna be in a basement made out of cardboard.
It's too easy because they just regurgitate the mainstream science, man. That's the easiest shit to get rid of, man. Hey, look, I hope y'all brothers live, man. I'm gonna hop back on in a few. I'll be right back though, man. Y'all keep.
All right, yeah, man. We gonna probably come back, man, and do a Halloween special later on tonight, man. If y'all with that, I'm gonna let this video finish playing out, Sanchez. So if you could listen in or whatever, we could talk about this later on or something. But this, like I said, this the secret society stuff. We gotta stop it. If we all say that we for the truth and we trying to help out the next generations, then we gotta expose them at least. So I thank you, brother, for coming through, man. Appreciate you and everything you're doing and bringing to the table, brother. Appreciate you.
Appreciate y'all.
Appreciate bro Sanchez, y'all.
Hey,
Big Aboriginal power, man.
I appreciate you, bro Sanchez. Peace. Hey, you just said something. You doing a build later on? What you doing to build on? What you got in mind?
We might as well. I got something cooked up for them. Like this video right here is crazy, bro. I mean, not for them. Like it's not just specific for them.
You get it, G.
Boo
You get it? Boo.
Yeah. I'm with it. Yeah, let's get it. Shout out to everybody, man, tapped in, man. We definitely appreciate y'all. Hey, man, you know, if you guys like what y'all seen, hit the like button, share this on all your platforms. You know, it's few people that didn't like it, and I seen I was turning up in there. We appreciate y'all too, man. You know, just hit the like button too. Jeez. I'm gonna tell y'all about numbers, right? Here about some numbers. Check this out, right? It was really interesting. During the live stream yesterday, it was like 16 dislikes I seen. I was like, damn, that's pretty interesting because we really get like one or two. Be like one or two haters, you know what I'm saying? But since there's more people that might got their feathers ruffled from the Baby Boulay series, right? I don't know, maybe. Sometimes, right? But they might have got their little feathers ruffled, right? So it was like 16, 17, like right now. But like today, it was like 9. So I thought that was a great deduction.
Right.
Like they might have seen something that was like, oh, you know what? This wasn't really what I thought it was. I really had a great time here, and I'm going to hit the like button. So I like some of you guys to go ahead and hit the like button right now because once again, it's really not about feelings. It's about getting the truth out there. So shout out to all the haters out there because y'all matter too. But remember, I'm not watching you to hit thumbs down. Shout out to the Matriarch Express, man. Peace to the goddesses, man. We appreciate all that y'all do. It's all love, man. What else we got going on, man?
Hey, man, shout out to the chat, man. We got one of the realest chats in the chat, man. We got the realest chat on YouTube, man. Hey, shout out to y'all, man. Y'all make this shit better. I swear to God.
Let's go.
This shit would be nothing without you.
Hey, man. Hey, but y'all heard what they said. You know, the Boulay, you know, they really about that. Hey, but listen though, I want to go ahead and put this right here, man, so we can finish watching this, and then we're gonna close it out after this, man. We got a little, I think, like 15 minutes left on this right here, and then we'll come back later on, man, and we have a conversation about this later, yeah. So I want to say, let's go. Let's get right into it. Let's go. I want to say shout out to the CEO.
Peace and blessings,
Yeah, thank you for coming through, bro. Like I said, we're going to get on the back end, man, and start putting it together. Big Aboriginal power. aka Copper Grizzly, man. Go get y'all some motherfucking Copper Grizzly drip.
Debate. Make sure y'all, make y'all side bets. Hey, get that
side
drip, man.
bets.
I said, make y'all side bets. All that shit. It's going down, man. Y'all know I'm coming with the smoke. I know he coming with the smoke. This is two undefeated debaters coming together, man. So hey, let's get it. May the best man display
I'm excited.
the information that he can. So man, shout out to the chat, man. Like I said, if you want to drip like Big Al, man, go to weare2am.com. Go get you some drip, man.
That's right. Shout out to weare2am.com, man. Let's get it. Yeah, let's get back to playing this video. Hayden, like I said, y'all, we'll be back later on this evening.
Really good, so they had good chicken and stuff.
Yeah.
So it just felt like being at grandma's house around them. So I did my research, and nobody in my family ever went to college and graduated, nor pledged a Greek organization. So I was just attracted by it based off how they treated me and how they accepted me as a brother.
When I went to Hampton University in 1984, I enjoyed the way the brothers showed that enthusiasm. And it was the same enthusiasm I had, so I was already that before I became
one. Okay, so next question. What areas did God reveal to you that were lacking that contributed to your decision to join? So what areas did God reveal to you that were lacking in your life that contributed to your decision to join? Yeah.
Well, I didn't have that. I thought I was in airborne school. I was in the military. I thought I was the bomb. And I was looking at them. I like that. So I didn't have no brother. I had a sister. So that was lacking. I had one sister, and I saw this brotherhood thing. And then I grew up in a white neighborhood in high school. So when I went to Hampton, I saw this, I was like, oh my God, that's it.
The areas I was lacking in is I was more so of a leader. So I wouldn't say I was lacking, but I just had a lot of conviction because I was trying to get involved with the church there, and I got asked to teach Vacation Bible School, and it got to a point throughout my journey in Omega where it just didn't feel right no more. And honestly, like being at parties and being like the head of the face of the chapter at the time, I was scaring people by the way I was conducting myself and utilizing my body, and also using my words. And it ended up getting back to me by a young lady how she was afraid. And I used to zone out whenever I'd be at parties, stepping, etc. And I never wanted to intend to hurt anybody that way. So I had to examine myself. When you're in church, keep this short. I was in church, and whenever you learning about the word, and you're convicted, and you actually trying to apply it, and then you're at these parties at the same time talking reckless to people, and just chanting, it just don't go together. So, that's how.
I really didn't answer this question because I knew it would be answered in the later questions.
I would say for me, and I think most of us who have come out of any of these organizations, it's literally a lack of identity and also a spirit of rejection.
Yes.
I grew up as an only child, but also I did not know a positive relationship with my father growing up. And that is literally one of the biggest recruits, I think, in all of the frats is those who did not grow up with literally a stable father, a Christ-led father.
Amen.
Hallelujah. Show you exactly. This is not what you want, bro. This is not what you need to be involved in. And when it came towards, as Brother P said, a fraternity is considered a brotherhood. And if you did not grow up with true brothers around you, like P was saying when he came up here earlier, that can get your back, that can hold you down or hold you accountable, then that is something that you're going to go and attach yourself to in a college atmosphere. And that's really one of the main reasons I think that most of us have gotten wrong.
Piggyback from what he said, I also didn't have a father in my life like that. And I always wanted to have older brothers, but I always been an older brought me in as family.
Appreciate y'all sharing. Moving on, how did God reveal this was not of him to you?
That's a lot.
To the phone.
So, what really happened, well, the first sign was like my great grandma was on her deathbed after I crossed. She was like speaking her dreams saying, "No, Father God, please have mercy on his soul." I was like, I didn't know like what she meant by that. So one day after I played some boys, spring 2018, I had a chance to actually see behind the scenes and go through the rituals and stuff. So, everybody, whoever pledged, they went to Set, and I did my research on Set, how he was an Egyptian god of destruction.
Glory.
Yeah. Osiris and his body parts over the world. So basically, when you're in Set, it's violence. You're like feeding the deity, all the destruction. So that was one sign. And then they always say, "Welcome to the bond" when you cross, but I did research on that. It's trauma bonding, where it can be defined as a occurs of a resulting ongoing cycles of abuse, in which the intermittent reinforcement of reward and punishment creates powerful emotional bonds that are resistant to change. So I guess that's like your parents saying they beat you, but they say I love you at the end. It's like it's brainwashing you to make you actually believe that they love you, but they actually causing the pain. So when I went through all the struggles and rituals, it was dark, and I remember before I crossed, like the burning sand, you got to cross through fire when you cross. It says in Leviticus chapter 18, verse 3, it says, "You must not do as they do in Egypt, where you used to live, and you must not do as they do in the land of Canaan, where I'm bringing you. Do not follow their practices." And in Deuteronomy chapter 18, verse 10, it says, "There shall not be found among you anyone that makes a son or daughter to pass through the fire, or that uses divination, or observer of times, or an enchanter, or a witch." So that was a very big sign. And they say it's a secret society, but all the organization of Divine Nine. Look at Divine Nine, that's spiritual nine.
Glory.
Spiritual. You all got to know about Invictus. Invictus is really bad. It's talking about how matter not how straight the head is, but they talk about how narrow is the way of life and stuff. So that was another sign. Then the Nationals, I had to kneel at the epic shrine.
Glory.
Raise my right hand, bow down, say an oath, like basically praying to Apollo. Saying I'm swearing my life over to Apollo.
And Revelation.
And it says in Exodus chapter 20, verse 5, it says, "You should not bow down to them or worship them, for I, the Lord your God, am a jealous God, punishing the children for the sin of the parents, the third and fourth generation of those who hate you." So there was the sign. So when I found out all this information, I asked the brothers around, in the chapter, I said, like, y'all know what it's about and stuff. Some people said, yeah, I know about it, but I don't take the heart. But please bear with me. In Matthew chapter 12, verse 34 and 37, it says, "Out of the overflow of the heart, the mouth speaks." And let give an account on the day of judgment for every careless word they have spoken. For by your words you will be acquitted, and by your words you will be condemned. So you see all this stuff, but in reality, it's like it's actually going against what God,
the word of God.
God's word. So I ask myself, like, why are we, got to go through all this trauma and stuff and get beaten just to be a part of an organization and say, oh, brotherhood, community service? Why can't everybody join? Why we can't just join? And, they were saying like how you got to work hard and like I asked them how they got to say an oath because they didn't really have an answer. But in Matthew chapter 5, verse 37, it says, all you need to simply say is yes or no.
No.
Anything beyond that
It's from the evil one.
So as I had my as I was going through some things, I was kind of like, I felt guilty, like, why did I have to go through these things? And so I gave away my Nelly because I had a lot of Nelly because I was a solo. So it was like active, taking everything. But I kept some things that that I pledged with until one day I came across another Bible scripture that says in Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 26, it says, "Neither shall you bring an abomination, an idol into your house, that should become a cursed thing like it, or you shall utterly detest and abhor it for the cursed thing. So I'm doing everything.
Yes.
Everything out of my house. It was still there, just like lingering around, the spirits and stuff. So that was my process. So I was kind of in denial still, but when I came across Verena video, that answered my prayers. Like, wow, this is real. I thought I was the only one since, but that actually confirmed everything.
Amen.
Hallelujah.
Study yourself and show your
I
proof.
would probably say from the beginning, because we were a charter line. For those that haven't been familiar with Greekdom, like the charter line is just as important, basically, as the founders of the organization that you pledge into, because every line that comes after your line, they have to learn your information. And so we were literally coming on Kennesaw State's campus for the first time they've ever seen alphas. Half of our line, I would probably say, quote unquote, were believers, and I say quote unquote. And so we had conversations throughout our process and getting into really, does the word agree with this decision for us to pledge into Alpha? We literally had checks and balances in the car when we were going to set, just like my brother said right here, and seeing, is this something of God? Is this something that we should be doing? And just to keep it blunt with y'all, like, we were all rebellious. We were all disobedient.
Yep.
Because if you truly are God's, the Holy Spirit will not let you go into these organizations
Hello.
without being checked.
Hello.
I was checked multiple times, but based off of my mindset for wanting to get involved in the first place, most of the alphas I look up to were businessmen. Most of them were entrepreneurs. MLK was basically Black Jesus, and Greekdom, he was
Come on.
And so when it
Blasphemy.
comes down to it, I was deceiving myself. I didn't get deceived because I already had in mind that the alphas, they're about business, they're about they're about dressing good, they're about money, they're about entrepreneurship. And so that's what the enemy will do. He'll lead you astray by what you want, even when the truth is blatantly in your face.
Yep.
And the Holy Spirit is also tugging at your heart to tell you not to get involved if you truly are God's. And so the second thing I would probably say that convicted me the most is just like India came up here earlier and said, enlightenment is all about Freemasonry. The New Age thinking, the New Age philosophy, 5 or 6 is still up for debate, but at least 5 or 6 of our founders were Alpha when I was a part of that organization were Freemasons, as she said. And so everything is about the light. You need to be enlightened. You need to receive consciousness. You need to have the truth, the real meaning of truth. And so you need to be involved in Alpha land. And so Alpha, they pride themselves off of saying Alpha is the light of the world. All of us who are believers in here, who is the light of the world?
Jesus,
Yeshua. So why
Yeshua.
are we saying that Alpha is the light of the world? Blatantly disrespectful to our Lord and Savior. So again, that's something that if you are in tune with the Holy Spirit, He's gonna let you know there's some things that are questionable with this comparison, because light is in reference to everywhere Jesus walks, the light followed him. When you go to heaven, it's literally the heart of gold, which is the heart of the city of heaven. The light is everywhere. It opens up darkness. And so God had to take me out, just to be real with y'all. He had to take me out of the college mindset. He took me to Korea. And I was not studying English. I was teaching English in Seoul, South Korea. He told me to go to the story of Exodus. Read from a different perspective the story of Moses. His Exodus that he made from Egypt. God told me after I studied the principles of that book that when you get back to the States, you're going to have your own Exodus.
Glory.
And so again, those scriptures, when you study it, especially in dealing with Alpha, it's all about ancient Kemet. India touched on it briefly, and Brother Pete touched on it briefly, but it's really going back to Kemet, the Kemetic origin of man. Literally, all of the not Greek gods, the Egyptian gods that the Greeks just copied and
recycle
counterfeit of what they deem as gods. It all back to ancient Kemet. So studying, allowing, just like Pete said, time to take place while I was fasting. God was revealing these things to me. Also, just like a lot of the AKAs that just came up here, alphas usually either date deltas or AK. I'm sorry, yes, all the ex-AKAs that were up here. Usually alphas, just to be real with the dating scene, they're either going to date deltas typically or AKAs. And when I was in a relationship at the time with an AKA, I was telling her some of the revelations when I came back to the States of, like God talked to me and he said, literally, you need to come out of Alpha. I'm telling her I'm literally trying to water whatever seed was there because she said she was a believer. The first thing that she told me when I had her sit down with the ex-AKA that was literally ministering to her is that I don't know if I can leave this. Wow. All of my friends are involved in AKA. That's all I know when I came to the university. They're in my inner circle. And so God was showing me that not only was I tripping and still dating this young lady, but also the fact of the matter is that it's so many attachments that people try to make excuses for not getting out of these organizations based off of family, friend circles, whoever that you're involved with that is in these organizations with you. That's an attachment. That's a stronghold that needs to be broken. And then last but not least, we had our chartering ceremony, and it was in, I want to say, the Student Center at Kennesaw State, where we got our official charter to show that we were under the regional of Alpha in that area. And they had us sing a song where it was, have you heard of the city where the streets are paved black and gold, and the name of the city is 8x8. That's heaven. Why are we comparing heaven to being paved black and gold when we know the streets are paved gold in heaven? That's blatantly
blasphemy.
Into our Lord and Savior.
Blasphemy.
And so, bottom line, like that's something that no one can argue with. Brother P has already introduced it in India that it's all baby organizations under Freemasonry. Alpha was the first national Pan-Hellenic organization at Cornell University, December 4th, 1906. They are baby organizations of Freemasonry. The truth is already there. You can't argue that because everything that Alpha does is a mimic and a copycat of Freemasonry.
You just spoke so long, my thing went to sleep.
Don't play, my friend.
Amen. How did God reveal it was not of him? This is just 3 months for me, y'all. So this is brand new.
Praise God.
Lord bless me. Long story. We just birthed a ministry in January. And having a brand new church, being able, the Lord made it plain to me that he didn't need for me to be a pastor of any more traditional churches. And we're doing some of the deeper things of God. We're serious about evangelism and sharing our faith. We're spending time not only praying, but also fasting. And it was during one of these recent periods where in my time of prayer, I asked God, I said, God, I want my brother delivered from Freemasonry. And I said, if you want to, you can use me to help do it. And,
be careful what you
the Lord
ask
answered
for.
back real fast. He said, you want your brother out of the Masons, you need to get out of that fraternity.
Glory.
It was just that simple. I mean, it's just like, it hit me with a ton of bricks. So God spoke to me just that plain. Another thing that God showing us not to be a part of this was the issue of pride. I want to thank Sister Angie. Amen. I saw her video and she talked about this, but it's something about being able to wear those colors, wear those letters, and I pledged undergraduate at an HBCU, and before I pledged, I was just regular Joe Blow college student. And the minute I pledged, it's like, I had some girls look at me, had looked at me sideways. And I'll never forget, I walked by the AKA table one day, and the little girls were talking, and they said, one of them said, "Oh, he's dumb." But another young lady spoke up fast and said, "Yeah, but he the kind of nigga will make you a good husband 10 years from now." So I felt good about that. But I pledged my last semester of graduating senior. Now that's crazy.
Yeah, that is.
Because part of the reason you pledge is after you pledge, you want to be able to pledge somebody else. And I was literally giving that up, but God allowed that to happen another way. I enjoyed being a member of our chapter because my frat brother was a valedictorian when I graduated. I love being able to say, Sigma is what Alpha ain't, what a Q want to be in a Kappa can't. We love talking noise to one another and just that whole thing. But as I was reading the Word of God, Proverbs 6:16 through 19, there's 6 things the Lord hates. Yes, 7 are an abomination to him. Number 1, a proud look. Enough said.
Amen.
got some pictures I'm gonna show y'all. These are personal pictures. I'd advise. Well, I really don't mind y'all taking pictures if you want to, but I just advise you not post it just because I believe right now I'm still like a little fearful of how I approach people. Not fearful. Let me say this. I want to approach people the right way, but I also want to be truthful about it. And I believe since we all came out to see truth, I want to share with you the truth, and I don't want to just push that on people. Yes. So if you could,
I say peace to everybody, man. It's in the chat room, man. Peace to y'all. As you guys came out today to check this out. Again, hit the like button before we get up out of here. If you haven't supported the channel, please do. Only Builders. Shout out to everybody, man. Tapped in. Let me go down the row. I see Thomas Dotson in here. He Wiz, DD Alexander, Vixen 99, Free Papu, Woo Era, DJ ZPE, Lady Lee, Tyrone U, Alu, Infinite the God, Miss Gretchenham, Lady Pat, Monaga, Mama Bear. What we got up in here, yeah? I see Winner in the building. All the people, just hit the cash out. Yeah, that's funny. Winner funny. I gotta put that up there, yeah. Mr. Brooklyn, aka Aboriginal King, is in the building. Yeah, yeah. As you guys came out today, check this out. Again, hit the like. When you get up out of here, hit that like button. We definitely appreciate that, man. Appreciate everybody, man. Tap in, man. You could have been anywhere else in the world with your Sahab. I'm in the building. Pikachu, Zoe Hustle, The Chosen One, Old Dude. Make sure I got everybody. Shout out to Winner though. What's we got in here? Press go, please. Bronze Flat Power God. I'm gonna be over there Saturday. We had to reschedule. Shout out to Bronze Flat Power God. We're gonna be over there next Saturday. Now y'all be seeing the promotion on that this week. Want to book me? Hit me up at chiefholiday@gmail.com. We're in the building. You're not. Who else we got in the building, y'all? Tisha Britt. Peace Empress. Rain Alexander. Peace of the God. Smoke Signal. King of Kapala. Westside Kulik was in the building. Empress Awaken. N. Jones. What's we got in here, y'all? Shot to Holla Bell. Muffy Duffy. Seal the deal. Yeah, I almost didn't catch that one. See, nonetheless, peace to the guys, man. Peace to everybody tapped in, man. We definitely appreciate you guys. Yeah, the link is in the chat room. We're gonna come back a little later on, man. So we're not gonna put the link in the chat room again right now. We're gonna leave this in the can, put this on in the can. Like I said, press go before y'all get out of here, man. Put this one more time. Support the real. You already know. We definitely appreciate everybody, man. See James Gilmore in the building. Truth Master Dre, Sagittarius Jones, T1 Production, Alexis Kinsey, D. American. You haven't subscribed to I Don't Give a Fuck Sports News Entertainment. Go check us out over there, man. I Don't Give a Fuck Sports News Entertainment. What's we got in here, man? Tribe Tides. We good now, right? Yeah, we're good. We're good right now. I'm not talking Lady Lee. I got Lady Lee already. Mike Prentice. See Mike Prentice in the building. Lamar Copperhead Edwards. Shout out to all my Copperheads out there. Peace to everybody, man. Tapped in, man. We definitely appreciate y'all, man. RP Fam LLC is in the building. Peace, Empress. Definitely appreciate you. Shout out to all the newcomers out there, man. Press GOAT, man, for all the descendants of the greatest people of all time. That's us, the greatest descendants. We are the greatest. We are the descendants of the greatest people of all time, y'all. So, that's what this is gonna be about, man. This debate, y'all, just taking the information to the next level. Shout out to Big Aboriginal Power for turning up, man, and being, being a warrior, having a warrior spirit, want to jump in the ring, man, and put on for the ancestors, man. Shout out to Bro Sanchez, man, coming in too, because a lot of these guys are cowards. They're not gonna get in the ring with us, bro. Not in the public, because they don't want to lose their careers. Just want to say that so everybody can understand. Shout out to Mr. C in the building. Shout out to everybody, man, tapped in. J Knight 28. J Knight, what it do? Peace to everybody, man, tapped in. Let's get a song before we get up out of here, man. Underhog, Mr. LV. Let's get that going. Let's get that and get up out of here, y'all. Appreciate everybody in the building. Just give us 1 second. Shout out to AG. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna say nobody's government, y'all. So shout out to AG. Cash out. Appreciate that, brother. Shout out, y'all. Supporting the real. Definitely appreciate it. 1 second, yeah. I'm about to pull this up. Yeah, man. Like I said, man. Anybody want to tap in, man? We're looking for talent. DJs, rappers, singers, beat makers, actors, writers, anything, man. Tap in, man. It's up at chiefholiday@gmail.com. Without further ado, let's get up out of here. It's Underhog, Mr. LV, and the A-State Band Runners. Lake Village, Arkansas, stand the fuck up. Let's go. Press go.
Nigga flow so sick, hit rewind. Little bit, come my phone, hit decline. Nigga want me to phone, but tell him keep trying. Been ballin' on niggas, not retime. Yeah, one time, turn the beat down. Let a nigga go crazy, see now. Fell off, got it back, had to retry. Bitch, that was shit, had to remind. Excuse me, it's Big Dog, straight drop. Yeah. Right. Yeah, pour some drink, roll up some ganja. I'm about to blow like a motherfucking roster. Big dog status, you know I ain't flogging. Go to the west that I ain't ball. Yellow bone with me, feeling like a Mars. She wanna kick it, she want no karate. I just want head, I don't want no body. Might take a nigga, bitch, just a ride. That whole back stop, nigga. Ain't no motherfucking option, nigga. Oh, I got your little hoe up on my side like a motherfucking house, nigga. Big black nigga, mother son. Yes.
guilty of killing these niggas and fucking these bitches. Yes, I'm into the charge. ABR be the mafia. Tell them ain't nobody stopping us. Lot of sucker niggas wanna copy us. Still dripping on the floor, you can mop it.
Let me pop my shit. Niggas be killing. Gotta swap my shit. Niggas watch my shit. Since you niggas stealing, well let me lock my shit. Let me stop my shit. Yeah, I'm from the bottom, but that don't stop my shit. Bitch, I'm an underdog, I mean underhog. Still, nothing top my shit. Bitch, I'm the truth. And I showed you over and over again, this shit ain't no fluke. This is proof. I set the bar in this bitch, and I'ma raise it like a roof. They counting me out, yeah, they gotta be tripping. I don't know shit about a dish, subtracting myself. Many things bullshit, I move forward in position. Since I do music, now I gotta move different. Be damn, I move without a tools, and rappers is dangerous. And I just can't be caught slipping. Be damn, I let a nigga do me. I ain't no killer, but I ain't never scared to shoot it. Don't run up on me like a group. You got some beef, nigga shell coming clue. This won't be a type of food.